That's the sound of air, not the sound of metal. So hello folks, this is Mike Cayley 7. Coming back from Ray Price Harley-Davidson Triumph in Raleigh, North Carolina. I had a little bit of a false alarm scare. Since I got this upgrade, the bike makes noises it didn't used to make, so I wasn't sure if the noise was a normal noise or not. Made a video. I became concerned when I started convincing myself that it was metal on metal making noise. And the video really accentuated that noise. And so when I sent the video to my mechanic, he said, you know, don't ride it, we'll come get it. So they came and got it, and they did all kinds of testing and, you know, verification to see what the problem was. It wasn't a problem. What I'm listening to, what I'm hearing is the air sound. It's the sound of air with this high inflow, whatever, high flow intake, air intake. Causing that noise, and I thought it was metal on metal, but no, it's just the sound of the air going swish, 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 swish. So false alarm. Better safe than sorry. That's what I always say. I'm sorry if I'm too quiet here. I'm just watching behind me to make sure that my sweet pea is not getting lost. Now the bike makes another noise that it never used to make, and I still don't know exactly why, but I had them talk to the guy who did the upgrade. His name is Brad, and I said that the noise that I'm hearing down directly at the bottom of the bike in the front, that's where the oil cooler traditionally has gone. He says that's the water pump. And that water pump is always working, even when the bike isn't. When I don't have this thing on, the ignition switch. I just move the bike and it makes that noise. He says, "Yeah, that's something on the Milwaukee 8s. They all do that." I said, "Well, before the upgrade, it never did that." Well, there's no explanation. I don't know. That's what they were saying. Not Brad, but the other guy. So, maybe because my items, EITMS is turned off, disabled, maybe that's why the water cooler works more than it used to. I don't know. Maybe before my bike wasn't doing what it should have done, and that's why I heard the radiator fans come on for the radiator a lot more. I do not know. I just know that according to them, the bike is fine. I can ride. So there you go. And I'm at 299.3 miles toward my goal of 500 miles by Tuesday of next week. It's a beautiful day. At least. Hot though. 80 something degrees, I'm thinking. Which is more than I like, but oh well. It's just the way you gotta do it when you're in the South. Yesterday would have been a perfect day to ride if I hadn't had the problem that I had, or thought I had. Ooh, look at the clouds. I wish this GoPro camera could pick up the true splendor of this vista and the grandiosity of these clouds. Is that a word? Grandiosity? Man, these things is huge. Okay, so this morning I was talking to Orvis 128, also known as Pat. also known as the Doc. And we were talking about a picture that I posted. It was a meme, I guess you could call it. It had a skull and crossbones, Harley-Davidson, the whole thing. And it said something like, I'm an American by birth and I'm a biker by choice. So I shared it, and then Pat said he likes it, he agrees with it, but he doesn't count himself as a biker. He's just a, what do you call it, a nerd who rides a motorcycle, which is what I used to say about myself, which is funny. A nerd who happens to ride a motorcycle. And I kind of disagreed with him there. My thoughts on being a biker have changed, evolved, perhaps matured. Here is what I think now. In the old days, I used to think, if you want to call yourself a biker, call yourself a biker. If you ride a motorcycle, you're a biker. I don't really think that's as true now as I thought before. What I think now is, if you occasionally ride a motorcycle, and it's a fun little hobby, you do it from time to time, but it doesn't really make up a large part of your life, or your thoughts, or your heart, you're not a biker. You're a person who rides a motorcycle, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's one extreme. A person who rides a motorcycle. So it doesn't occupy their thoughts, it doesn't occupy their heart. It doesn't define them, is the word I have to use here. A biker is somebody who, when they're not riding their bike, they wish they were. When they are on their bike, that's all they want to do. And if they can't ride their bike for some reason, they're online looking at other motorcycles, looking at videos, shopping for stuff, gear, accessories, and they think about motorcycling all the time. Now that's not the same as a one percenter. A one percenter is, your stereotypical motorcycle club member. Either a full patch member, a prospect, or a hang-around. If you're a hang-around, you're a one percenter wannabe. You're hoping to be one. And if you're a prospect, you're even closer. Once you're a full patch member, you're a one percenter. Now there are motorcycle clubs that are not one percenter clubs, but I think the idea in my head of a one percenter is you got to be in a club that is one percenter, which is outlaw. So they call themselves Outlaw Motorcycle Club. They don't like to be called motorcycle gang, but truth be told, they like to live outside the law. And they look at law-abiding people like me as, sheeple, ridiculous, stupid, whatever. And that's fine. Everybody's free to their own opinion. I would never want to be a one percenter because I don't want to have to do anything. When I say have to do anything, I mean, sure, I have to drive the speed limit or I get a ticket. I have to go to work. But with a motorcycle club, even one that's not a one percenter, you got to go to meetings, you got to go on these group rides. And if one of your brothers gets into a fight in a bar, well, you got to go to a bar first of all. I don't really like to go to bars. And if your biker brother gets in a fight, you got to get in a fight too. And if somebody's stabbing, you got to stab, or shooting, you got to shoot. Very often times you end up in jail. Hard to hold down a regular job when you're in situations like that, or have a career, especially as a teacher. You can't say, sorry students, class is canceled for the next 2 years because I have to serve time for a stabbing. So one percenter doesn't fit my needs. But I don't think one percenters are the only true bikers. I think a biker is somebody who loves to ride a motorcycle, eats it, sleeps it, breathes it, more than the average hobbyist. It's a lifestyle. I wear my motorcycle boots all the time, or boots that I wear on the motorcycle. I bought because of the motorcycle. I wear them all the time because it helps my bad leg, which I have a bad leg because of the motorcycle. If it's nice weather outside, not raining, I'm on the bike. If the bike is dirty, I don't care if it's raining. I go, unless it's on the way to work, in which case I take the car because I don't want to teach all soaking wet. But if it's going to rain in the afternoon, I take the bike in the morning. I don't care if I get wet on the way home. I can always change. Rain suits, yeah, they help. So I have a rain suit always with me. But you're still going to get wet in certain places, even with a rain suit. I ride in the freezing cold. Down to 11 degrees is my record. I'd ride down into minus 40 if I could. So I think, by the way I define it, that's what a biker is. Somebody kind of like me. Doesn't matter what you ride either. You could ride a Honda, Suzuki, Yamaha, Victory, Triumph, Indian, Kawasaki, doesn't matter. If motorcycling is your favorite thing in the world to do, then you're a biker.